Morning, everybody. Let's call the meeting of the Fiscal Court to order. We have with us this morning some guests, Vicky Boatwright and Kyle Odell. Who's going to be Kyle?
Diana's going to be Kyle.
Diana, okay. All right, come on.
She didn't talk slow enough to be Kyle.
They're here with the Conservation District.
All right, we are annually required to visit you all, so hello, we're here. So I thought I would just sort of give you a chronological order of what we've done over the past 12 months, and it's really short. I'm not going to take up a lot of your time. But every July, the Kentucky Association of Conservation Districts has a convention in Louisville, and some of us traveled to that convention last July, met with other state employees and NRCS employees there. We always in August partner with Kentucky Farm Bureau and provide transportation to the state fair. If anyone's interested in doing that, that's, you know, anyone that wants to go can sign up and go with us. You pay for your, there's, you know, I mean, it's not free, but it's a whole lot less expensive than it would be if you were to just go on your own. In September, we always have a Home and Farm Safety Day that we put together for 5th grade students, and we host that at Mike Miller Park, and several different community service organizations are present there and present a variety of information to the kiddos. Brenda and I spend quite a bit of time going to the schools and educating children about conservation issues and farming issues and things that are of concern to the public. We've also been in partnership with Maggie Morgan with the Jackson Purchase Foundation, working with Mike Miller Park to do some potential native plantings and some rain barrel installation and some things like that out at the park. November, we were again in the schools working with 1st grade through 5th grade on the art and writing contest, and that usually takes through December, and then the students submit their artwork and we judge those. And our county winner this year was actually the 2nd place winner in the state overall, so that was something our county can be proud of. We use that student's artwork on the t-shirts that we give to all the students who participate. So there's all these kiddos walking around with a t-shirt that was designed by a student here in Marshall County. We've also been meeting with George Milam and the Children's Art Center and trying to help them with a proposed grant to install some pervious concrete over there if they get, you know, if they get everything moving over there. And then in March, again, Maggie Morgan, who's employed by the Kentucky Division of Water, and I spent some time with the Benton Middle School students doing some stream health education, and we also, as a culminating event with that lesson that took 2 days, the students continued after we left and designed some rain barrels, and then we gave those away at our Earth Day celebration there at the office in April. Also in March, we have our annual Ag Field Day at the Joseph Farm, and that's for 4th grade students. We have, why don't you talk a little bit about that? Tell some of the people that are there, the NRCS people. And
well, for the ag, for the Youth Ag Field Day, it's something we've been doing for, gosh, 15, 16, 17 years, and it's been held at the Joseph's Farm almost every year. And right, we have usually 8 or 9 different stops that the students rotate through, and we teach them about farm animals, about grains, you know, and Jeff Utrell does a super job with teaching the kids about, well, you know, this is corn, but what does corn end up in? You know, because a lot of kids, a lot of people anymore, that they've lost that connection to the farm, and so we're trying to at least expose these kids to, you know, what happens on the farm, why it's important to them. And but we do a soil stop. We've had bees out there before. We've done hydroponics. So we try to hit all of the different areas that deal with agriculture, and it's very hands-on. The students really have a good time that day. You know, a lot of them, you know, we try to get some farm animals. The Block and Bridle Club from Murray State's been real good to help us out the past several years and bring animals. A lot of these kids have never seen a cow up close, you know, or chickens, or, you know, a pig, or whatever. So it's a great opportunity for the kids. They really enjoy it, and, you know, we have a good time. The Josephs has always been, you know, real good to host it for us, and so it's a good day. It's a really good day.
This is something that, I know at least a couple of years, Channel 6 has been out there and,
Yes.
and gotten some good coverage on it, and,
Yeah, we try to, you know, get as much media to come every year as we can, and some years we're more successful than others. But yeah, you're right, Judge.
but it's a big day.
It's a big day, and it's a really fun day for the kids.
Yeah.
We also have a tree seedling giveaway every year in March. We give away 2,000 tree seedlings. We try to limit that to 10 people, 10 seedlings per person. So, you know, if toward the end of the week where we still have a lot of seedlings left, and we'll sort of give a little on that, but anyone is welcome to come and get those tree seedlings. And you can call, usually in the fall is when we order those, so if you want to call sometime in the fall or winter, I'll know what kind of seedlings we'll have in the spring. Then in April, we have our Earth Day celebration, and again, we have lots of giveaways, and try to provide the citizens of the county with some environmentally sound practices and information about composting and rain barrels and so forth. And we also give away the energy efficient light bulbs, and yes, we have the e-cycle people come and collect e-scrap. And then in May is when our we finish up with our art contest, and we present those prizes and go back around to the schools. So in this year, let's see, Jake Hicks was our winner from Sharp Elementary for the county in the art contest. That's the one I was telling you who we used his artwork to design the t-shirts. And then from Benton Middle School, we had our essay contest winner, and that was Madeline Henson. And that's all the information I have for you.
And you still have your annual awards banquet for conservationists of the year and that type of thing, or do you?
We do that through the Young Farmers Banquet now. We don't
Oh, okay.
host our own banquet anymore.
Oh, okay, so they take care of that. I know that's always been a
We
pretty big
still-
event.
Right, we still do the selection of those award winners, but the presentation is actually done at the Young Farmers Banquet.
Okay. Any questions? Thank you all very much for the report. Keep up the good work. Next, Mr. Larry Witt. Larry?
Couple of things. First, proud to announce that we break ground today on our splash pad. We're starting to do the footers and all. Don't know how long that'll take to get ready, but at least we're beginning. So that's the good news to report. The second thing is a few court meetings ago, we discussed the mowing. And this is just a follow-up to that. We've been fielding quite a few complaints in the last couple of weeks on the mowing that we bid out. And last Thursday, I toured the properties, and most of them hadn't been mowed. The ones that had been weren't weed-eated or blown off or anything. So contacted Mr. Frizzell, and he said his mowers had been broke down for 2 weeks. He was hoping to get them back going, and the young man that he had helping him just mows. He doesn't do any of the weed-eating or blowing and all that. So that's where we stand right now. So I just wanted to report that to y'all, and y'all can do with it what you want. But we are feeling a lot of complaints, especially at our day parks. And they looked pretty rough last Thursday when I was out there. So
We don't know when they're gonna get their mowers back.
he was hoping to have it back Friday, and he said he would try to catch up. Of course, I didn't get to go out there this morning, but I'll tour all the properties tomorrow and see how they look. But
Okay, let me know if you don't mind.
okay.
All right, thank you. Emily, you had something on Capto?
I just wanted to let the court know that when we attended our Kentucky Association of County Treasurers and Finance Officers Conference in May, that Marshall County was awarded the scholarship this year. We have a scholarship program for graduating seniors, and because of the timing of the conference, we're going to push that scholarship towards the 2013 graduating year. But it's a $1,000 scholarship that I just wanted to make you all aware of.
Now, do y'all have a committee, or they leave that up to the county that's,
Yes, that will be up to us.
okay. All right, very good. All right, anybody else to address the court this morning? All right, let's move into correspondence. Emily has been certified through the County Treasurer Certification Program. Got her certification on the 18th of May, 2012. So, Emily, I guess you're certified. What does that mean?
I'm a certified county treasurer.
Are you smart? Does that mean you're
I
smart?
was one of the first 6 to graduate the program. There was 6 of us that
All right.
were awarded our certificates at our conference.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
From the Purchase Area Development District, the PAD staff has completed a final draft of the county annex to the Jackson Purchase Hazard Mitigation Plan. He says it's their intention to deliver a copy of the draft annex to all jurisdictions participating in the plan before the final regional committee meeting. This meeting is scheduled for 1:30 on the 27th of June at the PAD Conference Room in Mayfield. This meeting will serve as an opportunity for further written comments to your county's annex to the plan. At the meeting of the Hazard Mitigation Committee, will discuss and revise the final draft for the regional portions of the plan. Because of Calvert City, Marshall County has a big role in this mitigation plan, so our people will be present. But that meeting, Greg Terry, the county judge executive down in Carlisle County, is the chairman of that committee, and if any of you are where you can attend, it's at 1:30 on the 27th. I believe that's at the office, right? The PAD office. So you have an opportunity to be present. From Whitlow, Roberts, and Houston, this is just for our information. Dear sirs, we represent Kentucky Hydro Farm, Jerry White and Matt White, concerning a crop loss suffered as a result of your roadside spray operation on March 26, 2012. Our client has been attempting to deal with you on this claim without success. We are now taking over these efforts and demand a resolution within 15 days. They have sued the company, Nature Chem, of course, as you all recall, on February the 12th, in soliciting our business, the Nature Chem representative said to the county that the chemicals would to be used would result only in a little brown tinge on the roadside vegetation. He claimed that there would be no harm to neighboring properties and stated that if the harm did occur to any resident's property, Nature Chem would be 100% liable. We have that on tape and on video as well. So this is in regard, I think we've talked about it before, some of it got into his lettuce operation there on Wyatt Farms and destroyed a lot of his crop, and they're just asking for their to recover. And Jerry came in and talked with us. His lawyer, Jonathan Oliver, came in, and we let him listen to the tape. And so they're in negotiations now with Nature Chem. So I just wanted to make you aware. I think I've also made Keiko aware as well. From Lincoln Martin, said, I've received notice from the Auditor of Public Accounts, Adam Edlin, that our taxing district is to complete a survey by June the 26th. He said, as you know, the Kentucky legislature passed concurrent resolution 53 directing the interim joint committee on local government during the 2012 interim to study special districts, fiscal, administrative, and ethical issues in light of recent audits conducted by the Auditor of Public Accounts. Consistent with this bipartisan legislative directive, my office is engaging in a thorough fact-finding process about special districts. This includes taxing districts. All of our districts, I believe, have complied, Melanie, up to this point. We have, of course, we were complying anyway, but apparently we were one of the few counties across the state that have been sending these reports in. So Lincoln just acknowledged that they have done their part in making sure that they comply with the request of the state auditor. I don't know what kind of cooperation they're getting in all the other counties, but I assume since the auditor asked for it, people would cooperate, but I don't know. Any other correspondence from anybody? If not, let's move into old business. You've all received the minutes of the June 5th, 2012 meeting of the Fiscal Court. Any corrections or additions to the minutes of the meeting?
Motion approved, Judge.
I have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second. Motion and second. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Nuisance complaints. We did have one gentleman came in, Jamie Wooldridge, and he has been working on his property. I understand he came in, he had poison ivy all over him. I guess he's doing something. We extended his time, talked to Jeff about it, and we agreed. Do you know if he's completed, Kevin, or have you talked to
Of
him?
course, I've been out of pocket all week, but
Okay.
Russ said he's noticed that he has made an effort to start cleaning up out there.
Okay. All right. Did we ever find out exactly who owned that property over in Pirates Cove? And I've had several inquiries since it was in the paper. There was a mobile, it wasn't in a mobile home, it was Michelle Leo. Was she ever
Yeah.
been in contact with her?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I haven't received any kind of correspondence from her or anything.
I had several people from that area call and want to know if it's gonna be sold or what, and I said, well, we've got to go through the steps, you know.
Jeff, in speaking with some of the people that provide the service that we had talked about in terms of tearing that down, it's kind of become a thought that we may put an advertisement out for anybody that's interested, because apparently it's going to vary with each project. I had one person go out and look at it that said that they would give an estimate, but that may vary. So in order to do this correctly and make sure that the people that do it are bonded, could we put some sort of an advertisement with specs out and then keep a list? And every time we have one of these, notify those people that if they want to give us a bid, so individually. I think that might be the best way to go about it, because I think it's going to vary quite a bit. And I would hate for us just to be calling one individual when somebody else might be able to do it cheaper, or just anybody that's interested could put their name on the list, and then they could give us a bid when we have these nuisance complaints come up that are enacted on with a bond, as long as they're bonded.
You put something together?
Okay.
We've also got the Gaslight Lane. They've cleaned up to some, they've started cleaning up, and they had that question. Don't know where that's gone, about the fence.
That was took to the refuge.
Board, and I have no idea
Well,
what their
they
decision
called
on that
me
is.
and wanted to know what their options were, I guess, and I wasn't sure, I guess. They were asking about, they've got it cleaned up down by the road and done some work, but they wanted to put a fence up.
Right.
Well, to comply,
Danny Newton approached me about it. I told him to have them put something in writing, what they were proposing.
Okay.
So that we could have something to rely on.
Okay.
I think salvage yards under the old law, and I don't know if that's changed, Jeff, you had to have a fence so high so it could not be viewed by the motoring public. Something to that effect. That goes back to the
I mean, that's
70s.
might not apply, but if they were willing to put up something, the refuge board would, I guess they were asking if they had the authority to allow them to do that instead, in
Yes,
lieu
they
of
do.
cleaning up. And I told him I thought that would be right, but I would ask.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Of course, they were maintaining, they really want a salvage yard, although there's a lot of inoperative automobiles out there, if I recall. Trucks, Jeeps, you name it. Okay. All right. We did advertise for a bid opening on our workman's comp. Do you have that? On our all lines, our property and casualty, if I recall, Peel and Holland was the only bid, but it was contingent upon whether or not they received a bid on the workman's comp. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think you're the only bidder, but I don't know unless something came in this morning or Friday.
Sorry.
We have one bid. This is from Peel and Holland, as the carrier for the Kentucky Association of Counties. Their premium plus tax is $184,943. You remember how that compares with last year?
No, not right off the top of my head. We've got budgeted 183,000 for this coming fiscal year, so it's a little bit over what we had budgeted, but
Now with All right, you've heard the quote. This is the only bid that we received from Peel and Holland through Kentucky Association of Counties, $184,943. What's your pleasure?
How'd that compare to last year, Judge, did you say?
Yes, it's up about 1,000, 2,000.
no, well, from what we had budgeted, it's up. But in looking at another report, last year it was 173,264.
Okay. So about 11,000. They do give us a printout, or we can get a printout on all the claims that have been paid.
Yes, we can certainly provide a printout of claims, as well as, of course, it's based upon the payroll figures that were reported, so premium would fluctuate that way too.
Mm-hmm. So what's your pleasure?
Motion to approve, Judge.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Also on our property and casualty, we only had one bid, that was from Peel and Holland. We tabled that to see, because it was contingent upon the county accepting their workman's comp bid. That total premium was $315,046. That's your all lines fund. And we tabled that till today, so I would entertain a motion to approve the all lines property and casualty insurance with Peel and Holland, again through Kentucky Association of Counties.
Motion.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the motion say aye. Any opposed, no. Ayes are getting weak. Motion carries. All right, let's go to Tucker Lane. Terry, y'all were gonna do something, check or talk to somebody about what we're gonna do there on Tucker Lane. Is that yours, in your
Yes.
district?
It's been completed, Russell says.
So we've got that complete. It's done.
Thanks to Jeff, he helped us
Paperwork
with that.
recorded, and, the work's done. Right.
Everybody happy?
As far as I know, hadn't heard no complaints.
Hadn't rained yet.
Hadn't rained.
Hasn't rained yet, so we'll, all right. All right. I had the budget somewhere. All right. Next item of business is ordinance 2012-04, second reading of the budget. That's your final.
No, it's fine.
All right. This is an ordinance relating to the annual budget and appropriations, be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Marshall County, Kentucky. Section 1, the following budget is adopted for the fiscal year 2012-2013, and the amounts stated are appropriated for the purpose indicated. General Fund, $7,247,060. Road Fund, $3,607,125. Jail Fund, $2,055,500. Grant Fund, $300,000. 911 Fund, $681,500. Occupational Tax Administrator Fund, is it $300,000? Is that correct? $300,000. The Veterans Van, $6,000. Total budget, $14,197,585. This ordinance shall be published in the Tribune Courier newspaper by title and summary within 30 days following adoption. Section 3, this ordinance becomes effective upon the passage and publication. All interested persons and organizations in Marshall County are hereby notified that a copy of the county's proposed budget in full is available for public inspection at the office of the county judge executive during normal business hours. Ladies and gentlemen, what's your pleasure?
Judge, I was gonna ask Emily, were those corrections made on those salaries? You know, we had a couple of errors there. Did we correct
Yes.
those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve the budget, ordinance 2012-04. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Any other old business come before the court this morning? All right, let's move into new business. We have some fire district appointments. Now, some of these, we're having to wait till they have their elections.
Had those last week.
Well, I know Bryansburg Palma did. Is that right, Luby?
They all should have had their elections this past Saturday, but Luby's the only one that let us know so far who was elected.
So the ones that I'm going to present to you, except for Palma Bryansburg, will be the court appointees that are up for reappointment. In the Aurora Ross, Martha Hopper, her term will run through 2015. And Mrs. Hopper has agreed to continue serving, as I understand.
Make a motion to approve that appointment.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. East Marshall, and we have not heard their two appointments that are up, one by the landowners is Danny Moore, and the firefighters is Al Budlong. So maybe we'll have have the results of those for our next meeting. I'd like to do it today, but we don't have the results. From the New Harmony Oak Level, we have one reappointment from the court, and then one from the landowners, but Candy Spraggs, her appointment again will be up in 2015. So I'd need a motion to approve that. We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. The Fair Dealing Olive Fire Protection District, we have one appointment, that is Barney Thweet. Barney's term would be up 2015.
Motion approved, Barney's.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. From the Gilbertsville Fire Protection District, we have one appointment that's up, and then they have a landowner, Anna Williams. Appointment again will run through 2015.
Make a motion.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. From the Hardin South Marshall Fire Protection District, we have one appointment and one landowner that's up. Our appointment is Michelle Alexander. .489 Nanny Neal Road.
Make a motion to approve that.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. From the Brewers Fire District, I have a resignation. I'll make copies for everybody. I won't read it all, but as of today, June 5th, I, Linda Baird, resigned from the Harvey Brewers Fire Department, which in turn I must also resign from the Harvey Brewers Board of Directors and the position of Secretary. They also have two appointees. Reappointment of Gary Teckenbrock.
Make a motion to approve that reappointment.
I have a motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. They have recommended for the replacement of Ms. Baird, which will run through June 30th, the year 2014. They have submitted two names, Butch Wyman and Marty Haley. Both of them have been contacted, agree to serve for that position.
Preference.
Do you, are you asking us to choose one?
That's just the two. They always give us a couple of names.
Okay.
And they've been contacted. Marty is, one of the firefighters, on the department, I think. Butch has been, active with them as well. I think both have been,
Judge, I'd move to put Butch on there.
all right, we have a motion.
Yes.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Now, as soon as we get the results from their landowner and firefighter positions, hopefully by next month, we can get everything current. So we try to keep up to date on that. From the Jonathan Water District, the term of Larry Connor has expired. I would recommend reappointing Larry Connor to the Jonathan Water District.
Make that motion, Judge.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Sanitation District Number 1, Aurora. We don't have anybody going off for North Marshall Water District. They're all through next year. Sanitation District Number 1, Mike Layton, 55 KOA Lane. I would recommend that Mike be reappointed to that board.
Make that motion, Judge.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. We have a vacancy, as I spoke to you before, on Sanitation District Number 2. We did contact one of the gentlemen, and I never could contact him. And Ray Bargey's name was mentioned. I have talked to Ray. Ray said he would be happy to serve in that capacity. So I would recommend the appointment of Ray Bargey.
Make that motion, Judge.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Marshall County Hospital Board. We have one vacancy. That being Gary Shemwell. Gary will expire the 30th of this month and is not eligible under Kentucky law for reappointment. I would recommend the name of Kenneth Shadoan to fill that vacancy.
I'd make that motion, Judge.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Gary has been a very loyal, supportive board member of the hospital board, but under Kentucky law, he has to stay off a year, and then he would be eligible for a reappointment if the court so desires after a year. The cemetery board, I don't think we have anybody up till the year 2013. two board members from our Port Authority Board, Mr. Don Heiss and Mr. Bob Gold. I would recommend Don and Bob for reappointment to that board.
I don't know, what do you think about that guy?
I don't know. I guess I'd make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion and second. It pays good, doesn't it, Gold?
Oh, yeah.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Any opposed, no. Motion carries. For the Marshall County Refuse Board, Charlie Edwards. I would recommend reappointing Mr. Edwards to the Refuse Board. What's your pleasure?
Make a motion to approve, Judge.
Have a motion. Is there a second? Is there a second? I'll second the motion. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Any opposed, no?
No.
All right. Term of Danny Newton. Danny is a city appointee, and Mayor Steve Carey has appointed Danny to continue representing the city of Benton. As being the largest city under Kentucky law, they have an appointment to the board. Danny is their representative. So Danny will be reappointed as the city's representative on the Refuse Board.
I can test that, Judge.
Okay.
We've never had a city representative.
You have since day one.
What, never have.
Yes, you have.
I asked all the mayors and they said we've never had one.
Well,
And first
your
off,
first
off,
mayor,
the
first, when I came on in office in 1974, Mr. Guy Mathis represented the city on the Refuse
I
Board,
need
and
to
they've had a
say-
representative ever since from the city of Benton.
To live with that, I have to say, the minutes of the fiscal court meeting where we adopted that policy.
Well, that'll have to go back to the 60s, but we'll try to dig them out.
When was, we in fact ourselves appointed Danny Newton, reappointed him the last 4 years ago. The
I
city did
think there's a
not.
recommendation from the city, though.
We hadn't, I didn't say, there was not one presented. It's never happened before.
The mayor of the most populous city in each county that is a participant in the waste management district shall be appointed a member. In no case shall the total membership of the board consist of fewer than 3 persons. When a county has 2 or more members on the board, members shall be selected from urban or rural areas in the same proportion as the urban-rural population distribution in the county, except that it be at least 1 member, each from rural and from an urban area. Now, that's
But it
statute.
says that the fiscal court must choose one of the following.
Yeah, there's two
And
options.
we haven't chosen one of the following. We never have chosen one of the following.
I'm just going back, when I first went in, the city had Guy Mathis, then after Guy, I'm trying to think who all served.
I asked the
Wayne-
previous mayor pro
Wayne-
tem of 30 years and then the mayor of 6, and he said they never had appointed one.
Well, who would have been
Well-
the city representative prior to, who's the current city representative?
Well, that's Danny.
But you all appointed him.
Right.
But, I mean, I'm just telling you what the law says.
Well, I mean, I've
I
got
mean,
the
the
statute.
first, when I went into office, Guy Mathis represented the city of Benton. He was on the city council. When Guy went off, Mr. Powell, Wayne Powell, represented the city on the board till he went off. And then from there, I'll have to go back and see, but the city's always had a representative on the board.
Well, it leaves it open. Judge KRS 109115 says the fiscal court shall determine the composition based on one of the following ways. And one of those ways is to have the city make a representative. The other is for the appointment to be made by the county judge executive confirmed by respective fiscal court. And based on Danny's current status, it would appear that the court chose option B, which was appointment by the judge and confirmation by fiscal court. So I'm not sure how we can transition to a city appointment.
Oh, we'll just
Do we have
have
a-
to
do we
go
have a
back.
do we have a
to the
letter?
original, do you have the original? from when it was created. The 109 district was created back in.
Well, if
you
we've
look-
got a letter from the city last time he was confirmed, I guess that would be, we should have that on file if that's how it was done right now.
We can go back and dig all that out if you wanna find out
Judge,
for
we
sure.
got many more problems than that. I brought up some issues over there 3 or 4 years ago repeatedly, and they defied my warning. I had the county attorney to be present. He confirmed what I told them. They defied the county attorney. The county attorney came back and told them again on record. I have the tapes. They defied the county attorney a second time. And I told the assistant county attorney, and they defied the assistant county attorney. And we got some serious problems down there. I think we need to do something. We either need to meet with these people and discuss the status of this, or we need to have an investigation to determine what exactly went on down there.
That's fine with me.
I mean, this is way out of bounds.
And I'll try to dig up the original, when this was created back in the 1960s. I wasn't here.
Well, and I just want to make sure that
I
we
just know
have,
who was on the board and who appointed who when I went on.
I just want to make sure that we're doing this consistently because I personally think that it was known that there wasn't going to be enough fiscal court support for these two members. That's my opinion, and I want to make sure that we're not picking and choosing which way we operate under the statute for the purpose of leaving somebody on the board because I've objected, as Terry has, very publicly to giving away taxpayer property and operating under contracts that don't exist and that sort of thing. Those are very serious things, and in my opinion, probably would have been handled differently if we didn't have the North Marshall Water District issue with the board when all this came up. But to have these board members continue to serve on this board despite their actions as board members, I think is questionable. I'll speak for myself. It's questionable for me to be a part of it because I don't support their decisions or their conduct as board members.
We can set a meeting up and have a meeting as soon as you can.
Make a motion, Judge, that we table it until we do so.
Second.
All right, this is on Newton's appointment. Be tabled. All right, second.
Yes, sir.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. We have,
Couple of appointments on the fire boards.
uh-oh. Okay, yeah, we did get from Luby on the Palma Bryansburg. Their landowner was elected Saturday, Ralph Rose and Nick Darnell, who is one of our appointees. Subject to reappointment. So I would recommend Mr. Rose, Mr. Darnell be reappointed.
That motion, Judge.
Just Nick Darnell.
Or just Nick
Darnell.
Darnell, that's
Make
Nick
the motion.
Howard, I'm sorry.
Make the motion.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Have they sent in? Okay, we haven't heard from Possum Trot Sharp. Ricky is their firefighter, Ricky Bearden, is their firefighter representative, and I assume because Ricky's been on the board a long, long time, and Neil Phelps is the landowner. We'll contact the chief and see if we can get that taken care of by the next meeting. We have the Gilbertsville Fire Protection District audit for your review. Everything seems to be in order. Kim Ham, CPA, conducted their audit. They continue to, looks like to be in good financial shape, not great, but they're paying their bills. They've got some good apparatus. So if there's no objection, I would entertain a motion to accept the audit of the Gilbertsville Fire Protection District.
Make that motion.
Second.
Have a motion and second. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed, no. Motion carries. our mower went down at the judicial building. The mower is 7 years old. We have looked, and Seaford Lawn and Garden, who we bought the original mower from, said it's going to be very costly to repair the old mower. He will give us a $500 trade-in, but still a new mower of the same type is $6,299. We can try to get by whatever y'all wanna do. I guess, do they mow the?
Judge, why couldn't we add that to our mowing bid?
Well, I think we could.
Or either just compensate him a little bit for that and then include that on next year's bid.
I think that'll be, do they mow the sheriff's department property too?
The whole complex.
They mow the whole complex? Okay.
We just
Okay.
need to figure out what we need to compensate him to do it, but.
How often they do that, Kev? How often they mow, once a week or?
Depends on the rain. Of course,
Right,
we ain't
yeah.
had no rain and,
Right.
yeah, it's,
Probably averages out over the summer every 10
Yeah.
days or so. Way I would estimate it.
Okay, why don't we,
I'll
let's
let you-
hold
I'll-
on.
I'd recommend we make sure that's a priority. This and that judicial building, I mean.
I think it'd be cheaper
I
to
don't, I don't
do
want him,
what
I don't encourage him to
Larry's
leave any
talking about.
unmowed, but if
Right.
he can't get to one, we'd rather this and the judicial building be top priority. I'll make sure that's,
Can you,
Take care of it.
can you see him, and of course, we'll meet again next week, and, our first meeting in July.
That'll eliminate some
So
other
let's just
issues
hold
as
off
well.
on this till we can see what our contract would have to add to that, and I suspect, what shouldn't be that much, but,
But if we can't, if he doesn't think he can handle that, then we could just, I mean, I'm sure we could solicit bids for that for the
Yeah.
remainder of the summer. There's other lawn care,
sure, okay.
but if he can handle it, we'll get him straightened up, and he can handle it, that would be fine with me.
Okay, that's fine. If you check on that, Larry, and let me know. All right, let's move into the treasurer's report. Emily,
Nothing special. This is a report for, the month ending May 31st, 2012.
anything in particular you?
No, nothing special to report.
All right, and entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report subject to audit.
Okay, well, second.
Motion is second. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Budget appropriation transfer list. Where we at on that?
I think we skipped interfund.
Oh, I'm sorry, inter-fund transfer.
Interfund transfer, I need to move $850,000 out of occupational tax administrator to the occupational tax fund. $200,000 out of occupational tax administrator to the general fund. Payroll fund has a loan that came from occupational tax administrator of $100,000. We're gonna reimburse that loan. The grant fund had received in, $18,789.43 of an old grant from, is that Little Cypress? Something, it was the closeout on that grant where they were reimbursing us. So I'm gonna ask you all to move that from the grant fund to general fund. And then since we will be closing out the occupational tax fund, the Cherokee Park Fund and the 911 Wireless Fund, I wanna ask that you all go ahead and kind of pre-approve me to move their June 30th account balance into the general fund and the 911 wireless into the 911 fund. And then I can report to you next week what those amounts were. But this, because I can't tell you right now what they are on account of the interest that will be deposited on Friday.
You have heard the request.
Motion approved, Judge.
I have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. What is today?
We good.
Now, do we have the budget transfer report?
Yes, and it's a very lengthy 6-page budget transfers. This covers all of our negative appropriations, for the fiscal year end June 30th. We can't write any more checks throughout the end of this week through this fiscal year. So this closes out our books and gets us all in line, to prepare our quarterly report and final year-end reports. They all balance out to 0. I tried to take as little as possible from the reserve accounts.
And all the overages, Emily, is that why we had some line item increases in our budget to try to prevent the
Right,
end of year
right,
overages?
Right. To try to make much fewer of these in
Right.
the upcoming year.
Any questions of Emily?
None.
I'd entertain a motion.
Motion to approve transfers.
Second, Judge.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Payroll accounts receivable,
The payroll fund is all caught up for 2011. Everyone is paid in full. For 2012, the sheriff's department owes us $482,203.21.
That's pretty normal at this time of the
Yeah.
year.
all right, all in favor of the, or just, we don't need a motion on that, do we? This is just for
Yes.
information. You did,
Yeah.
all right, do need a motion on the payroll accounts receivable report.
Make a motion to accept the report.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. And we'll need this, you will. Okay. The office supply bid list, I think Emily has put together, a list of what we use mostly
Yeah, what I've gotten from the departments, that's
from the different
mainly what
department
we use.
heads. You know, we talked about trying to put out a one bid for everybody. I don't know if you wanna approve this today or look it over, and we'll meet again next week. But these are the things that most everybody uses in their day-to-day operation.
I'd go ahead and approve it if that's what she's got
I
prepared.
think it's safe to approve, and I think what we'll get from the vendors is
I
gonna
mean,
be these plus probably some other basic items that they offer.
Like paper towels and things like that?
Uh,
See, we've got a lot of
yeah,
variances.
I think that would be a different bid. I think
Okay.
for cleaning supplies, and I
Something
haven't
different.
gotten from the departments those lists of what they need
Okay.
for that yet.
Because I know some of the companies offer all this, so
Okay,
that may be an option.
and we can try to get that, I can try to contact them, and maybe we can get
I'd
it
like it
together
to be all
for,
inclusive
Yeah,
if
if it
we
could be,
can.
I would
Yeah.
think.
next week.
And, you know, there might be some things we'll have to order separately during the year. I mean, that's not gonna say we're just gonna tie everybody's hands on the thing, but it's best we can do if we can do it all in the bulk order. Okay.
So you gonna go ahead and approve this then, Judge?
Yeah, if you would, and
Yeah.
then we'll add to or take from, Terry, whichever.
The other supplies, someone might not be able to bid this, it would bid that part.
Right, right.
Yeah, I make a motion to accept this.
All right, we have a
report.
motion by Squire Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Mr. Ford, before we go any further, you have the Ameribration celebration coming up in Calvert City, next week. I know that's always a big event. The parade,
Wants to come and enter the beauty contest is tonight.
the beauty contest is tonight. Okay.
30.
But the parade will start at the usual 6 o'clock and
No, parade is at 7 p.m.
7.
Lineup is at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
And we've adopted a new, or the Lions Club has adopted a new lineup area, Pathway Baptist Church, because since that area has been developed over there, it's much safer.
It comes straight out.
It comes straight out, but the reason, we can go wherever we want to on a paved road, so, that's not particularly a problem. But by having a lineup area there, there is no traffic, you don't have to worry about children running and being out, and as I've been told, the most important thing is that there are open restrooms there that they can use. So, that's what counts.
Okay.
And fireworks program is, of course, July the 4th, and it's at 9 p.m., and I don't think it's surpassed by any other show around. And the parade's at 7. When the parade's over, there's free watermelon in the park, and the fireworks will be about 9, full darkness. And we have events all day long, beginning at 10 a.m. There's music, there's a cornhole tournament. Who would have thunk it? Cornhole is a major deal anymore. Their talent show, and we have a lot of free rides. That we have the Shriners train that goes back and forth between the two parks, but we also have a little kids train that'll be inside the park this year that the children can ride on free, and that's in addition to the air rides that the fire department has. So it's a nice festival that's mostly all free. If you're gonna eat anything other than the free watermelon, you're probably gonna have to pay for that. So,
But they do have vendors.
yes.
Will be there.
I understand we have a record number of vendors this year, unless they keep on looking at the weather.
100.
Yeah, that's the main, of course, if you don't mind getting wet, we can keep it cool. The fire department can take care of that.
Saturday evening, I attended the American Wind Symphony Orchestra concert down in West Point, Mississippi. That same concert will be in Paducah, I understand, and I have not seen any advertising on it. But it's gonna be on the riverfront somewhere in Paducah Saturday night. And it's, Mr. Boudreaux, I can't think of his last name, is the conductor, but these young people come in from everywhere, foreign countries and universities and colleges around the United States, and make up this Wind Symphony, and then they travel.
It's probably part of the regular after dark Paducah thing on Saturday. And if I've driven through there the past 2 weeks, Saturday, for different reasons. But the place is packed. They're doing a great job of promoting their downtown.
Yeah, well,
All right. You've had an opportunity to review the bills. Entertain a motion to approve the bills.
make a motion to approve the bills, Judge.
Judge, I had one question about the bills. I
Okay.
noticed on there we were signing that we had a $40-something hundred from the architect on the jail roofing. I thought we had already taken care of that. It was like
Apparently, it's a percentage
28,000.
as to his completion, because there was 2 bills.
I thought 28,000 was high.
I did
I
too.
thought it was high too,
Now
but
it's
apparently it's higher than
32,
it
33.
seems.
Is that all
Was
we're
that
gonna
in
have to pay,
there?
or
I
we
guess
finished?
that was in their contract, that at the end of their inspection period and
I
all
thought,
that.
but I was thinking you said that was included. I don't remember for sure. I just thought I thought you
I'll
said
tell you
it
what,
was.
let's pull that and call them in and find out.
I don't know, but it seemed like it was mentioned. You either said it was or you
'Cause
wanted it.
I remember we all
to.
thought it was real high.
Yeah. Saying, is that the end of that? Are we going to pay more?
They
Is
said
that
there's
all?
another 2,000,
There's,
isn't there?
there was two, what we did was, I have one bill from them for what's done through date, and then there's one for completion, which we went ahead and paid out this fiscal year, so those two checks for completion, that's another 100 and something thousand, just about 100,000. We were gonna hold
That's to
until
the
that's
contract.
completed. Well, but for each bill we get from the contractor,
We
we get
get
another
one.
bill from the architect too.
Tell you what, let's hold that one and
I was
call them
thinking
in.
there was a possibility that might have been included in that first bid that you read to us, but I'm not certain.
All right. Let's,
Make a motion to all approve the bills other than that one.
all right, we have a motion to approve the bills, but hold the architectural bid and have them come in. And let's pull their contract that
Might just be an error.
review that.
Could be an
Could be,
error.
we'll see.
I second Bob's motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries.
And one
But
other
maybe
thing,
inspection fees.
this is a deed from the Draftonville Community Inc., which is dissolving. It's the property there in Draftonville where the Lions Club met. We already have a deed. We foreclosed on the parking lot area and have a deed to that. Since they're dissolving, in order to put those properties together, I'm asking for approval for the county to accept that property.
All right. We already had a 99-year lease, was it, Jeff? No, that was a separate,
Yeah, I foreclosed on
yeah,
it.
we did all that already.
Yeah,
That's the building.
Yeah.
that's the bill.
This is the bill.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's not really the parking lot, it's part of the parking lot and the lot beside it that we already have.
All right, do I hear a motion that we accept the deed to the Draftonville Community Center?
Is that the parking lot?
Did you say that was including the,
That's-
was that the parking lot on the right, Jeff, when you go to the back?
Well, no, this is the
This is the
building.
building.
This is the
Yeah,
building.
but you said you're joining the,
Yeah, we've already done
Is that
that.
what
There
you
was a,
foreclosed on?
there was
Yeah, I
a,
foreclosed on.
there was a field and a parking lot over there that we mowed, but that actually was not a part of the original 99-year lease or whatever it was we had with the building. And, so we went through the court and got all of that done. This is for the actual building and, which we maintain and take care of anyway. But this would give us, title to the property.
make a motion to accept it.
This was approved a long time ago, and we signed and sent the deed over, and it just never got signed, so. And that corporation is dissolving, so we felt like it necessary to get this cleaned up.
Will they still be using the building? or
Oh,
what?
they'll still use it. I mean, that was part of the deal at the Lions Club. You've got Marcella's Kitchen, you have,
No longer a
Scouts and-
99-year lease. We own
Right,
the
we'll
property.
own it. That's correct.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries.
Mr. Eubanks was the president, he passed away, so that's why
Yeah.
the vice president's down.
All right. Any other business come before the court?
Judge, I just have two quick things. Andy, are you in a position now where you all and your office staff could work on a website if the court were, don't look at me like that. Is that no?
Is that my answer, I think?
No?
Not right now, no. We would need some lead time.
In the foreseeable future, you think, if the court were to?
Depends on your definition of the foreseeable future. But yes, yes.
Okay. The other question, Jeff, I just have a question. Terry had mentioned that you had gone out to the refuse board and discussed with them about procurement procedures. In your opinion, if we had board members, and let me get, did you go out there to the refuse board?
I'll tell you what I did. I went out there and discussed issues regarding the disposal of scrap metal.
Okay, which
And
was
gave my
being given
opinion.
away at the time.
Well, that goes back to that old discussion about, where there was a, with the clean earth and all that.
Right.
And I thought that it was all resolved. I thought it was being bid.
Well, it is now, but,
Okay.
but my question is, when you went out there was about a 1.5 year time lapse that the board members continued to do that. They continued to operate without a contract, giving away the scrap metal,
Well,
despite
I
what.
don't remember the exact time frame, but I did go a couple times, yes.
Does that leave us in a position of liability, having board members that failed to follow proper procurement procedures after being advised that they needed to
Yeah,
follow?
I guess it would expose the district.
Which in turn, if we're making the appointments, knowing that they failed to follow those proper procurement procedures. Here's my question. How can we as a court recommend to reappoint persons who chose to not follow the advice of our county attorney? That's my question. I mean, how can we recommend that? The statute's very clear. It says you can do one of 3 things with surplus property that belongs to taxpayers. You advise them of that, and they chose not to.
Right. Well, there was a time, there was someone that had advised from the state level that there was some exception for scrap materials. And I guess, I mean, I couldn't find it. No one's been able to show me that. And I guess it might be true if there was no value, but over this period of time, apparently, scrap metals have become valuable.
Right.
Now they are.
Right.
One time they weren't.
Well, even aluminum cans, same thing.
That's true. There's only one point that was made to me during all that discussion, and if it lingered on, I don't know if this is the reason or not, but one of the reasons was that when that situation was going to stop, in which they thought they had a contractual agreement, I think, whether they did or not, they thought they did, and that was it was included in that contractual agreement that the waste station, the area there for the bins and the people to go to the refuge station, that would be pulled, they thought, which it was. Once that contract ended, then that area was pulled and they had to find another place. That was the only point, other than, as far as it lingering, was that they knew that immediately that was likely that they would lose that refuge pickup station, and that they needed to locate one, because it is an ordeal. It always has been. We've had more than one of these over the years where we had tried to move a station, and we had an outcry from the public about where it was going to go, and other than that, that's all during that whole situation, that was one thing that was brought up.
But we led our citizens to believe that if they would recycle their aluminum and take it to those transfer stations, that they were supporting their local government. Why would we include a third party to dispose of property that belongs to the taxpayer, and now there's no accountability? Where is it? Where's the money? Nobody knows. There's no accountability whatsoever for that property. And that went on for how many years? 20, 30? I mean, it's just ridiculous to me.
It's not personal. I just think we all have a job to do. We're held accountable. We're held to a standard. Jeff is, Judge, you are, we are. And I guarantee if I were to go out and give away stuff that belonged to taxpayers, somebody would have me in a courtroom. I just think we have to hold people to a standard despite whether or not we like them. It's not about personalities. I just wanted to know what our exposure would be.
Look, that's all I was speaking to. I don't know about the past. All I know is there was a time when I think Jeff talked to him, and it lingered on for a period of time, and I believe the refuge pickup station was the reason that I was given. Other than the years past, I can't speak to that.
That's the reason, Judge, I recommended it to Jeff or you all that we meet with those people and try to determine what's happened and what to do about it.
All right, any other business?
No.
No other business, I'd entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn, Judge.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.